There is a way of styling jewelry whereby you can make such an impact with something so simple. Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ciara and I share videos on shopping for the best basics on the high street, how to build a capsule wardrobe and lots of other good stuff. So if that sounds good to you, then do hit subscribe because I would love to have you back for more videos. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the biggest jewelry trends for spring summer 2025. When I did my latest trends video on accessory trends for the coming months, you guys said you'd like to see a dedicated jewelry trends video, and I am only happy to abide because I love talking about jewelry trends. As someone who admittedly is a little bit more of a capsule wardrobe girly, I love my basics. I really rely on my jewelry to dress up my looks, to give me personality and to just add that finishing touch. In this video, I'm going to break down the top 10 biggest trends that we are going to be seeing for spring summer 2025. The very first trend we're going to talk about in today's video is customizable and modular jewelry. And if you don't know what this means, this is basically jewelry purchases where you can interchange your jewelry. If you're investing in something like jewelry, it makes so much sense to have something that you can customize. And this brings me on to the jewelry that I'm wearing today. So this is from a newer jewelry discovery of mine, and it is the brand Ideal, an Antwerp-based jewelry brand. And as we know, Antwerp in Belgium is the jewelry capital of the world. They have a big focus on modular jewelry. Most of the pieces in their collection are customizable. They do the most beautiful lab-grown diamonds. I'm a big believer of lab-grown diamonds. They are so much more ethical, sustainable. So I just went for a pair of their classic diamond studs and I absolutely love them. And you can wear them on their own for a more chic, kind of understated look. And then you can purchase add-ons with which you can customize into so many different looks. These drop add-ons here can also be attached to pendants as well. So it's true modular jewelry styling. You can really customize this in so many ways. I actually think it would be gorgeous because I have a few piercings here to do some different sized studs and do kind of a stacking situation. But I chose these drop, almost like pendant earrings, not only because it is a huge jewelry trend for spring summer. I wanted an add-on that was quite dressy, and I have a lot of weddings coming up this spring summer, and these are going to be the most elegant, perfect wedding earrings. Like imagine this with like a swept French twist or like a really nice upstyle and then just the cascading little kind of pendant. I think it's so beautiful. Also wearing one of their beautiful pendants here. And again, this is the same concept that you can change this pendant depending on what add-ons you want to include. It just makes so much sense. I will leave links to all the pieces that I've mentioned in the description below, and I will also leave here on screen my exclusive discount code that you can use when you are shopping your pieces at Ideal. And please do let me know which pieces you are eyeing up because there is so much inspiration on the website and I already have a wish list of other pieces that I want to use to create the most beautiful custom ear situation. I think it's so incredible. The next big jewelry trend that we are going to see for spring summer 2025 is statement jewelry. And if you haven't seen this yet, it is everywhere. We are seeing gigantic oversized door knocker style statement earrings. Definitely plays into the maximalist and the 80s trend that we've been seeing across clothing, across accessories. A statement earring is such a big part of this. It's super fun. It's a really easy way to add personality to a look. Again, if you're doing like a chic all black outfit, you can add in a pop of something with a big pair of statement earrings. We're seeing it with things like chunky bangles, oversized bangles. We're also seeing this with longer earrings, and I mentioned the drop style earring or the pendant earring when I was talking about this Ideal piece. We're also going to be seeing asymmetrical lengths, so we're going to see like shorter drops and then longer drops worn together. All plays into that kind of statement maximalist style that we've been seeing re-emerging in the past few years, but it is certainly a very fun trend to play with. So trend number 3 we're going to be seeing so much more of is resin jewelry, and if you haven't been seeing this already, already, this is a little bit more of a spring summer trend. We did see it in the autumn winter, but it's really ramping up in popularity. Resin jewelry is very, very easy to find. It is all over the high street, a very, very affordable type of jewelry to invest in. Chunky resin bangles worn stacked. I particularly love the look of a bangle worn over a long sleeve jumper or t-shirt. I think it looks so chic and so cool. Then we're also seeing chunky resin rings worn with the bangles in kind of different colors that we are going to be seeing so much more of for spring summer, kind of a holiday destination style. On like a summer evening, you've got your stacked resin jewelry, hair is slicked back. There's something so chic and fun about it. Trend number 4 that we're going to be seeing is longer chains. And once again, I did mention the drop or longer style earring. We're also seeing this with our necklaces as well. So there's a jewelry style called the lariat necklace, which is a very long style, almost like a looped, kind of similar to a bolo style, which is a very Western type of corded leather necklace. The lariat and longer chain style necklaces are definitely coming back in a big, big way. You know those really long styles that you kind of loop over your head to create like a gradient effect? It really reminds me of the vintage Chanel necklaces with like the pearls and the chain details. We're seeing a more modern version of it on the high street in golds and silvers, and again, very, very summery. A really easy way to take a very simple summer dress and just add that dimension and that interest. I also adore the look of lariat and long drop chain necklaces worn with a deep V dress. Oh, it is so stunning. And then the lariat or the drop chain can even go down into the dress. I think it's so stunning. What I also adore is an open backed dress with like a lariat chain necklace worn to the back with the drop going down. Honestly, I have actually purchased a lariat necklace specifically to wear with an open back, hair swept up. Oh, divine, 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 divine. So next up, I did mention this with statement jewelry, but we are going to see so much more chunky cuffs and bangles. I mentioned statement bangles stacked all together, but what we're also seeing are like chunky thick cuffs. That incredible kind of waved silver cuff, I think it was from Tiffany, really came back in popularity in the last year. That style of cuff is just so, so cool. We're also seeing it a lot coming into spring summer. Again, as we start to shed the layers, we can see our jewelry more. These thicker cuffs, either worn asymmetrically with just one cuff or even worn both together for maximum impact. People styling a very simple long sleeve dress, let's say in like a maxi sleeve style with 2 beautiful cuffs on either sleeve, and it looks so chic. There is a way of styling jewelry whereby you can make such an impact with something so simple. So for trend number 6, it is one that I've mentioned multiple times before here on this channel, and it is mixed metals. We have been seeing this growing in popularity for quite some time. There was definitely a stage there where you did not mix your metals. You were either gold, your silver, or your rose gold. Probably in the last 2 years, we've seen so much more mixed metals going on with jewelry styling, and I personally love it. I think it speaks more to that individuality and personality that we have been seeing coming into accessories in general. Mixing gold and silver can really create a very bespoke individual look. So whether you're picking a piece that has mixed metals within it, for example, a mixed metal watch or a mixed metal chain bracelet. I have one from Monica Vinegar that I absolutely love. It's their Alta charm bracelet, and it's in a mixed metal, and it's so perfect for nailing this because I can include both gold and silver charms on it. But you can easily just take your gold and silver pieces if you have a mix and just wear them together, and I think it looks so cool. Whether you're stacking your earrings in a mixed metal way, or you're stacking bracelets, or you're layering chains together, it's very modern. And following on from this, the next trend that we're going to be seeing is layered necklaces. And I mentioned this in one of my previous points about the long chain necklaces, that kind of length that we're doing different gradients with, but also what we're going to be seeing is just layered shorter necklaces as well. If you're taking 3 different chains in different lengths, I do think it's key to have a little bit of difference in the length so it doesn't look too busy and it doesn't look tangled. Taking, let's say, 2 to 3 different chains and layering them in varying lengths creates, again, a bespoke look. It's very individual and it just adds a little bit more personality. Whether you want to do this with one specific color, either gold or silver, or you'd like to mix them for even more individuality, it's definitely something we are seeing so much now. And this is something that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy anything new for. You can just look at how to restyle the pieces that you already have in your jewelry collection. I mentioned charm bracelets previously, but once again, they are another trend that is really coming back into popularity. The Pandora charm bracelet and also different kinds of charm bracelets. I have one, as I said, from Monica Vinader. I think it's a very, very good example of modular jewelry styling and things that are customizable. I think charm bracelets are one of the most personalizable pieces of jewelry out there because of course they are supposed to be so sentimental and so individual to the wearer. Whether you're doing a charm bracelet or you're doing a charm necklace, which we've been seeing so much more of in the last 2 years. Charm necklace can just be a bunch of pendants worn together kind of in a stack, or you can take a chain and stagger them out. We are seeing so much more of this style. Another specific trend that I have noticed coming back into popularity is floral motifs in jewelry. Once again, this is definitely something that is more summer leaning. We saw a lot of orchid style jewelry last summer. We saw like oversized flower earrings, really opulent kind of tropical flowers in really rich colors, magentas and tangerines. And we also saw things like you know those glass blown pendants in like beautiful orchid flower shapes, in kind of abstract shapes. It can be something that you find on the high street, or it can be something that you pick up on, let's say, a market vendor in, you know, your holiday destination. It's definitely very playful, very romantic, and really harks back to like the early 2000s, because I think that's where we used to see it so much. But it's very feminine and pretty. We'll be seeing a lot more of this summer, I guarantee it. Finally, I'm going to touch on two slightly non-jewelry trends, and the first one is brooches and brooch style buttons. Again, brooches I would class as jewelry because they are definitely worn kind of upper part of the body. A good brooch can be worn in place of earrings or in place of a necklace. It really just gives its own kind of vibe. Brooches are back in a huge way. Like vintage brooches, looking at brands like Schiaparelli and Coperni and how cleverly they do their brooches. It's also a really great way of buying into a luxury brand in a very accessible way. So brands like YSL, Loewe, they have really beautiful brooches that are such an easy way to add that pop of luxury without spending the full whack of the luxury brand. Not just the luxury labels, but this is all across the high street. I also highly encourage you to raid anyone's wardrobe that you can that might have vintage brooches, maybe a grandmother or a mom or aunt or anything like that. And also keep an eye open in vintage shops, secondhand shops, thrift shops, and you will find some very quirky, cool brooches. But again, it's a huge trend in accessories and jewelry. It's not going anywhere. And I mentioned brooch style buttons, and this is also something that we were seeing. Again, buttons not necessarily being traditional jewelry, but we are definitely styling them like jewelry using oversized brooches, not necessarily replacing your buttons, but you can even just wear them over your buttons. You can take a piece of clothing and add the brooches where there could be buttons to give that effect. Very, very Schiaparelli inspired, and it can really make an item of clothing look so much more expensive and so much more luxurious just by using those clever customization tricks. The final trend I'm going to touch on is chain belts and statement buckles. And again, we are moving a little bit away from traditional jewelry here, but I do feel like this is definitely in the realm. And chain belts being very much a high summer accessory. A beautiful chain belt being styled with like a low waist satin skirt in the summertime, over beachwear, like over a really beautiful swimsuit, for example. A really, really gorgeous way to add a pop of interest and fun to an outfit. We're also seeing slightly heavier duty chain belts worn over, you know, denims, over like day wear, and not necessarily high summer resort wear. And I think this touches on the Western trend, which I've mentioned in previous videos, which is such a big trend in itself. It's not necessarily just dainty. You can go for those larger styles. The classic like Chanel style chunky chain belt. So fun. It's really very maximalist. Finally, on this note is the statement buckles. Now again, buckles are not necessarily jewelry. They're worn lower down in the body. But while we're talking about chain belts, just like with the rest of the Western trend that we're seeing, belt buckles themselves are becoming more oversized, more elaborate. They're becoming bejeweled and rhinestoned and really looking looking like a piece of jewelry in themselves. So I just thought I would touch on it because I'm telling you now, it is something we are going to be seeing so much more of in the coming months. So there you have it, guys. That is 10 of the biggest jewelry trends that we are going to be seeing for spring summer 2025. I would love to know in the comments which of these trends are you loving, which are you hating, are there any that you are throwing yourself into or any that you're avoiding like the plague. Please let me know in the comments below. I will leave links in the description below to all of the jewelry pieces that I mentioned. Also leave links to any of my shopping edits over on LTK as well if you'd like to shop some of these trends. If you liked this video, then please do give me a thumbs up to let me know. And if you have not already, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week and I would love to have you back for more. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!